Welcome back to Fees Fight Back. Today ended up being an amalgamation of a few days, which I explain in the video. Mostly it was appointments and a little update. It's breakfast time and it's also weigh day, so I'm quite anxious. But I've got my bowl that says be brave, and I've got my teaspoon that says you will find Fee, and that's what this whole journey is about. It's about finding Fee. I've got my 2 sachets of porridge, my banana, and my milk to make it all with, and we'll just take it hour by hour. Today's appointment's a really big one for me because I've really pushed myself this last week, and I'm both terrified it's going to pay off and terrified it's not going to pay off. I don't know, it's that battle in my head. Weight gain terrifies me. If I don't gain weight again this week, it's really not good. I'm not comfortable with my meal plan changes coming up, and I feel so anxious today. I'm worried it's going to be a bad appointment, and I've sent so many emails being like, okay, can we do this, can we do this, can we do this, to try and appease that anxiety. But I just feel like it's going to be a difficult one. This was my little outfit of the day. I had my snack in the car, which was an apple and one of my absolute favourite Alani bars. Again, I love the Alani range, but they're so hard to get in the UK. And then I had my appointment. And then me and Mum went to Tesco's afterwards. Just got back from my appointments and I'm sitting down to my hummus sandwich, which my mum's made for me. After lunch, me and Mum took the boys out for a walk, which was really nice to get some fresh air. I was feeling quite overwhelmed, so it really helped to just breathe a little bit. We're out on a walk again, just getting some fresh air. I don't know if there's even much to update after the appointment other than there's big meal plan increases happening and it's scary, and my gosh, I'm bored of myself now. Everyone's bored of me. And how hard it is. This isn't how it was supposed to be. It was supposed to just get better. Why? Why is it taking so long? Oh, all meal plan increases are scary. I'm not making enough progress. I'm going too fast. I'm doing this. I can't. It's a horrible feeling when you feel boring. My whole world has shrunk the last 6 months to become... It shrunk to how I felt, and I felt small. I felt like I can't cope. And when I fell into this relapse, I never thought that it would be so hard to get out of it again. And I can't work out why it's so hard. I don't get it. And even though my world shrunk, the real world keeps spinning and people get bored. I'm sick of myself. So how I expect other people to still be okay with me? Of course. And it makes me want to scream. Because I'm so angry with myself for any of this happening. Because right now I should be going into my second semester of my final year of uni. 8 months ago I was looking at my master's placement. I had to defer my whole year. I'm too nervous to go back into uni now. There's so much more happening in this world and I feel so detached from it. And I don't understand how to make it better. Because people say I need to focus on my recovery. And I do this time. But they don't realise that recovery takes time. And it takes more bad days than good days. And I completely understand how frustrating it must be. And exhausting. And I think me and everyone around me is just exhausted right now. There are so many things that have changed. So many ways I'm pushing myself now that I wasn't a month ago, but in the grand scheme of things, it's tiny. And I know it is. And it feels petty. But I'm sat here thinking still about calorie differences in yogurts. And literally the whole world is spinning around. And I don't know what to do about it. I want to say, come on, Fiona. I want to say, just find it in you to just break out of this now. But it's so scary. And I can't explain that frustration of wanting to do that and being paralysed by the fear of doing that. That's where you get the exhaustion. Because at the end of the day, you wake up and you do the same thing each day with the promise that it will get better the more you do it. And it will. And I'll get there. I've just got to take it hour by hour. But when does it get better? When can I just sit down and not worry? When can I eat a sandwich and not overthink it? When does it get better? I then had a long chat with my parents, which really helped, and I felt quite supported. And even though I still felt fragile, I knew I needed to keep moving forwards. Snack, I'm really pushing myself today, and I'm having a sticky toffee pudding brownie bar thing. It's been a very difficult afternoon, which you can probably tell from the state of me. It's just been very hard, but I'm sitting down to my third hot meal, and I know it's really important to do it on the days when it is harder, like today. Everything in me doesn't want to do it and is finding every excuse to not do it. But this is the moment where it really matters to do it. So I'm gonna do it. I've got my necklace that says, do the next right thing. And it reminds me on the days when things have been difficult that I just need to take a deep breath and do the next right thing. And that is having my hot meal tonight. And I've got my fork that says the year of V 2022. And it's going to be the year I get better for good. And even though it's difficult at the moment, I know I need to just keep going. So I'm just going to keep going. All my dinner despite a lot of anxiety, which is why I've got an anxious rash all over my face. Me, mum and dad played Scrabble after, which was really nice. Just tired after a very difficult and emotional day, but just gotta keep going. I've decided that seeing as today has been very hard, seeing as I have an anxiety rash all over my face and I'm exhausted, I'm basically going to do the video-y talky parts tomorrow, because for now I need to go and rest and try and calm down a little bit. So this is going to be one day, but it's going to be split over 2 days because it's been a hard day. We lit the fire and put a film on. I managed all of my 9 PM snack, which I've been struggling to do after hot meals, so I was quite proud of myself. And I finished this day on this quote. It's the next day and I still look really, really bad. But I did promise a bit of an update. And I hope today's gonna be a bit of a better day. So I thought I'd do it now. I think the thing that hit me yesterday is how difficult I'm finding things still. And there's this kind of, before this relapse, I wasn't in the most amazing place, but I was in a stable place. And I even thought that, you know, I'd be able to spring back to that place. And the reality is it's not been that easy at all. And every step I've made, I've thought is going to be easier than it actually is. I think I forgot how hard recovery is. And in a way that's good, because it shows how well I was doing for so many years that I forgot how difficult it was. And in a way is really, really hard hitting, because I'm so frustrated with myself that I'm kind of like, well, I know what to do. Why can't I just do it? And, you know, this is where it's a mental illness. It's not as simple as knowing what to do. Or as me and my mum sort of say, it's simple, it's just not easy. I know what I need to do, but it's not easy. And it's very difficult to describe why it's so difficult. And actually, my mum asked me a question the other day. She said she'd been thinking about why people don't understand eating disorders and why they get so frustrated that it's, you know, it's a choice. And she said it's because there's not a treatment. There's types of treatments that can help, but at the end of the day, it's down to the person. Not in an isolating way, but you know, for me, I'm the one that's got to eat the food. I'm the one that's got to stick to my meal plan. I'm the one that's got to drink enough. I'm the one that has to sit down and rest and not pace. And therefore, even though it's not my choice I'm unwell, I'm forced into a position where I need to choose recovery. And this is where you get the exhaustion, because it's not just something you choose once. You have to choose it 1,000 times a day, and on hard days, and in hard moments, and when you're anxious and feeling low and feeling lonely and scared, and everything in you just wants to say, I can't do this, but you have to keep choosing it, especially in those moments. And that's exhausting for the person, but I also acknowledge it's exhausting for the people around the person. And I think that's what I was really struggling with yesterday, is the guilt. The guilt for what I'm putting the people I love through by me being unwell, which I know sounds like, hearing myself say it, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, you're not choosing to be unwell. But I guess that's where I'm quite harsh with myself, because I'm so frustrated that it's not easier to get better. And I think that's why I found yesterday so hard, because there was so much guilt, and the way I deal with guilt is generally through restriction, because I don't feel I deserve things. And yesterday I had to feel all of that and still eat my dinner. Which I know is the next right thing to do. Like, I know to feel that and not go to the eating disorder was the right thing. But that's why it was so difficult. And that's what I find difficult. And I think that's where it really shows how much an eating disorder isn't about food. It's about how the person feels about themselves and the world and everything like that. And it can be translated into food, and it can come out at meal times, but it's not about that. And actually that's where it can be very difficult if you're in recovery and people see you eating a meal and think, oh, well, everything's fine then. And you kind of want to scream. It's not about whether or not I ate dinner or not. It's a really complex illness, and it can be very difficult trying to explain something that I don't even fully understand. And I live with myself 24/7. But I think yesterday it hit me how long this is taking, and we had that conversation in my appointment, and my dietitian worked out how long it would take me to get back to just pre-relapse if I kept going at the pace I am. And it terrified me. It's a long time. And that's not even what we're aiming for. We're aiming for set point this time. So basically, I need to be a bit braver and do things that scare me a little bit more, and keep going against that voice in my head and just trusting the people around me. I wanted to finish on this page from one of my favourite books because I think it's so appropriate, especially for those battling mental illness.